Okay, I'm typing the meeting. This is Fundamental
Yes.
2, right? So then I can upload this recording to our virtual classroom and everybody can watch it. What I was saying that portfolios are tools that are used by teachers for assessment, right? We haven't dealt with assessment because we didn't have time to deal with assessment last year. That's why, and we are not going to include assessment this year, right? Because this is a kind of revisiting, right? A revisitation of all the concepts that we dealt with last year, all right? But yes, for your knowledge, assessment, one of the tools, one of the instruments for assessment is a portfolio. And there are different kinds of portfolios, right? One of the portfolios is the collection of different kinds of work, right? Now, what I'm asking you to do is to collect your work, what you did last year, okay? And what's missing, all right? That's why what you have to do is to put all that, all your work in only one document. And the document should be appropriately titled, right, and named. It should say TFC, right? I don't know, Fundamentos 2, and your last name. Because imagine people, I have got lots of students, and sometimes you share documents with me with just nothing. Or, for example, that says Fundamentos. And then I don't know who's the author of that. Okay, so please help me a little bit to organize your work. Okay?
Yes.
So let's go into our, let's enter the our classroom. It's here. Yeah, here it is, right? Let's go to classes. We are in Trayecto Formativo Complementario. And this is what we did last week. Very short and sweet, right? There's the tentative schedule. And you can see, or you can watch, you're able to watch the recording from last year, from last week, okay? If we continued, right? This is what we are going to do today. Let's put it here because it's bothering me. All right. So, a St. Patrick's Day is a lesson, right, that shines like a pot of gold. As you know, last week was St. Patrick's, right? March the 17th was St. Patrick's. Were you able to celebrate St. Patrick's? Did you have some beer, some Guinness? No? Yes? No? Noelia says no. What about the rest?
No, it was Wednesday.
I didn't.
Ah, okay. Because it was
Saturday, Friday.
Okay. If it were, sorry, if it had been a Saturday or a Friday night, that's okay. Okay, good. All right. What is it that we are going to do? So the task. No, I'm sorry. Close your mics because there are an echo, right? Mute your mics. Good. So the tasks. We are going to analyze the following activities, and the following activities are these ones. Can you see the screen? Right? It says St. Patrick's Day is a lesson that shines like a pot of gold, right? So here you've got a list of activities, like for example, it's so easy being green, from slate to scent, put silk on a coat, and it's still a goat. Witty Irish sayings, adult students catch a leprechaun when Irish eyes are smiling. Okay, there's a list, right, of activities. what you have to do, right, is analyze the following activities, then turn those activities into tasks within a teaching sequence to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. All right? So what you have is just the basis, some ideas of what you can do to celebrate St. Patrick's. Yes? Now, these are activities, isolated activities that have nothing to do with our students' context. So the idea is, how are you going to turn them? I mean, not all of them. You can choose 3, 4, right? Choose 3 or 4. Turn those activities into tasks in a teaching sequence. That means use those activities to design a teaching sequence. Am I clear? Yes?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. So
Question.
what you have here are just ideas. They are ideas, people. We can't copy and paste. We can't use these activities in exactly the same way that they might have been used in Europe, okay? So take these ideas and design a teaching sequence with, I don't know, let's say 2 classes, right? 2 classes, 2 full classes, to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, right? For example, here there is a game, right? Some exercises for you to practice present and past tense. For example, in here, where it says from slave to saint, right? And the link says St. Patrick's Day worksheet. If you click here, you're going to go to a worksheet, right? But it's just the idea. You cannot, you don't have access to the whole material, right? Because this is a paid site, Busy Teachers, or half paid, whatever, right? So what I'm asking you to do is like, read the ideas here, follow the links, and these are kind of a springboard for you to design the tasks. Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay, Andres, you were going to ask me a question.
Yes. We have to design these teaching sequences using the models you gave us last year.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right.
Okay.
I mean, use the charts. I mean, that's when you say models, are you referring to the chart?
Yes, there was one activity in which you sent us.
Yes, use that chart, right? Where it's divided into tasks, and the tasks are divided into pre-task, core task, and follow-up. Remember, right? It's a Word document which is in green. I think some of the columns are in green. You have to state the objectives, I mean, the context, the objectives, all right? Everything. Because if not, I mean, you design a teaching sequence and I don't know who your students are. So you need to tell me if the teaching sequence is for students in, I mean, for primary school, for secondary school, how many students you think you have, all right? Yes? So the idea is take these ideas as springboard, right, to design a teaching sequence of 2 classes to celebrate St. Patrick's. All right. Now, the following point, which is point 3, says, be ready to support your proposal using the theory we discussed so far. So this is something that you are going to do next meeting. You are going to support what you are doing or what you did, right, with theory, right? Okay. And then point number 4 says, from Ireland to Argentina. That means which saint or canonized person or somebody who's kind of connected to this kind of religion, or I mean, not this kind of religion, to religion or this kind of ideals and beliefs, right, from Argentina would be interesting for our students to learn about? Design a teaching sequence to work with your students after having studied about St. Patrick. So the idea is this, people. We know that it's very important for our students to know culture of the world in order to be global citizens, in order to be participants of other cultures. But it's also very important for them to know our culture, right? So once you have the teaching sequence for St. Patrick's, right? Think about, I mean, they are in St. Patrick's, think about perhaps using a very short text, a very short video, right? Now I can't think of movies, but if we were talking about Scotland, right? Have you watched that movie, Brave, from Pixar, I think it is? Have you watched it? Right, okay. So there you have a lot of Scottish culture, Scottish ideas, Scottish beliefs, right? Now, see if you can find some movie or something that is related to Ireland, right? So as to give students context, all right? So once you finish with that, then thinking about the 60s, the transitions, remember the 60s, right? When we talk about topic transitions and task transitions, start thinking of how can you articulate what you did with St. Patrick, right? With the material about St. Patrick and Argentina. Like, for example, there is somebody who has been, it was an indigenous person who was canonized or who was declared a kind of saint, Seferino Namuncura. Have you heard about him? Well,
No.
he's from La Pampa, I guess, but I don't know his story. I don't know what happened to him, but he was a person, he was an indigenous person living, I don't know, and he was so good that then he was turned into a saint. And I really don't know the story, but well, think about these kind of people, right? Seferino Namuncura.
El cura Brochero puede ser otro.
Okay, that's it, right? El cura Brochero, es Brochero, right? So think about those characters, right? But think also why they are important for our culture, okay? You might find, I don't know, something which is closer to home, like somebody from Luján. You might connect, I don't know, St. Patrick's with the building of our basilica. I don't know, it's open to you, okay? And the due date, it's April the 7th. That means you have almost 10 days. In 10 days, you need to come up with 2 teaching sequences. All right? Those 2 teaching sequences should be articulated. So you need to talk about transitions, task transitions and topic transitions, right? From one teaching sequence to the other. All right? Because then you would need to explain to the rest of the class, to the whole group, why you did what you did. Okay? Yes? So use the template Andres
Yes,
talked
that's
about,
the template.
right?
Yes.
Use that template and start designing your teaching sequence. You can work with a companion. You can work with somebody else, right? With a peer. But what you hand in should be individual, all right? This is going to be individual work. I mean, the final product is going to be individual. Okay? So, any questions as regards this task?
Yes, sorry,
Yes.
Anna. So the two teaching sequences should be connected each other.
To each other. They should be connected to each other. Of course, everything, Hernan, everything
The
we
first
do.
one is about St. Patrick's Day, and the other one talk about a priest or somebody else. Haya sido canónigo.
Yeah, but somebody from Argentina, because the title of the exercise from Ireland to Argentina. So you need to try to find a connection between, I mean, the idea is, why is it important for our students who live here in Luján, especially the ones who live in Luján, to know that March the 17th is St. Patrick's Day? This is a question for you. Why is it, I don't know, I wouldn't say important, but why it would be worth thinking? Come on.
Sorry.
I don't think the question was clear enough.
Okay. You imagine.
Why is important?
Why is it important? And let me clarify. Imagine you were teaching in one of our schools here in Luján. And there comes March the 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yes.
Okay. Why would you talk about St. Patrick's with your students?
Maybe it's an explanation because the other day, on Wednesday, the basilica was green. The lights were all green.
Yes.
Perfect, Lara. That's it. And then you have all the pubs and bars here celebrating St. Patrick's. And then there is an Irish community living in Luján. So it's very important for our students at least to have an idea of that stuff. Okay, of those points. So what Lara said, okay, this idea of you're walking along and you see that the cathedral at the which is not a cathedral, is una basilica, it's all green. So what happens? Why? So where's Ireland? Why here in Luján why are we celebrating St. Patrick's? So where's Ireland? This is something that we can approach in our teaching sequence. I mean, the location, the geographical location of Ireland, some costumes, some customs, okay? And then these wild pattern or behavior that March the 17th, everybody drinks whiskey and all the pubs are open and they get drunk. And so here in Argentina.
Because it's my birthday.
Is it too? Okay. Okay. Right. How old are you now, Hernan?
36. 36.
Okay. So happy birthday to you, right?
Thank you.
Okay. So thinking about that, right? You need to start designing this teaching sequence. And of course, after that, you need to contextualize this. If you think in terms of CLIL, right? We are taking St. Patrick's Day as an excuse to talk about, for example, geography. Because we are going to use a map. I'm just giving you ideas. We are going to use a map of Ireland, right? To identify Ireland in the world, the connection of Ireland, the country with Argentina, see that they are in two different continents and so on, so and so, right? So here we are talking about CLIL. And then from the point of view of contextualizing, making the teaching sequence meaningful to our students, okay, think about what happens, right, around us. Okay? Is there somebody, right, which resembles St. Patrick? So you might want also to, for example, have one of the classes based or focused on reading comprehension. Very, very short, if it is for primary, 5-10 sentences, kind of a very comprised paragraph with the story of St. Patrick, okay? If it is for secondary school, a little bit more complex as regards vocabulary and grammar, right? So remember the videos we watched on Kandinsky. Remember the class on Kandinsky, right? If you don't remember the class of Kandinsky, I mean, you should pay attention to them. These are videos that are and should be, that are questions for you to answer in your portfolio. So use your portfolios, right, to revisit all those concepts. So there we are talking about Kandinsky, which was a, who was a painter. So can you do something similar with St. Patrick? All right, and then think about our context. Why is it important to talk about our context? Because Argentina is not isolated from the world. Okay.
Right?
Sorry, Andres, can you repeat? I couldn't hear you.
Yes, that we can use also historical events to explain this or to support this connection between the two countries.
Exactly, of course, right? And don't forget the Irish community. The Irish community is very big here in Luján, right? And then there's another issue here. There is a school. There's a school here, which is the St. Patrick's. The St. Patrick's School is here too. So our students, why not know, right, that there is a school here that fosters Irish culture? Okay, good. Questions?
Yes.
Andres.
Once we have this activity complete, so finished, we use the same document or we create another
in the same document. Okay. Everything should be in your portfolio, right?
Okay,
so copy and paste the template and work there. All right. Now think about tasks, people. Tasks. All right. The idea of tasks. We are not dealing with isolated activities. Remember the characteristics of tasks. The tasks should be contextualized, they should be meaningful, they should be doable. Okay, we are not talking about activities. Activities is what I'm giving you. Isolated activities, right, which are completely meaningless for students if they are not contextualized. Okay, now one of the ideas that you have in that site is the idea of the color green. What does it mean, green? What does green stand for? What does green stand for you?
For me, it's freedom.
Okay. What else?
Yes, hope, freedom.
Nature. For me, it's nature.
Nature. Okay.
Environment.
All right. So there is another another topic. And here we go again. Clear. Here we go again. Clear. Another topic. Okay, that has to do with environment and green. What is island? Do you know what island is called?
No.
No.
Something like the Green Island.
Exactly. The Emerald Island, right? Because it's an island, first of all, and it's so green, people. It is so green. You can't imagine how green it is. It's really, really beautiful, right? But I can't explain, really. I can't explain, right? It's like, and then there are another story, another aspect that you can deal with is literature. There are lots of fairy tales around Ireland. So perhaps you want to find a fairy tale about Ireland, right? And
I was
about
thinking about that.
the
Yes.
environment. Sorry, Juan?
I was thinking about that, about a fairy tale.
Okay, but it should be, listen, if you are going to work with a written text, it should be very, very short. So perhaps you adapt the text or you write it, right? And you might want to write it. Adapt the original to kind of abridged version.
All right.
Right? Good. So let's see.
I have a question, sorry.
Yes. Sorry,
Uh,
Alfio was here and now I can't see him anymore. Okay. Yes, tell me, Juan.
Yes, as regards the teaching sequence, do we have to design it as if we are present if we are present in the class or virtual? Class?
Okay. You mean in person or for virtual environments?
Yes.
Let's hope that next semester or next year we can start going to schools, I mean buildings again. So let's do it as if we were going to attend school, right, in person.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you said that we can work in pairs and present it individually.
Exactly. I mean, presented individually meant you work in pairs in order to brainstorm ideas. You brainstorm ideas, okay, but the teaching sequences should be different.
Okay.
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 Yeah, I mean,
okay.
What I'm trying to do is to encourage you to work with your companions so as to brainstorm ideas, discuss theory, because another issue, people, whatever you do, whatever you write in your portfolio should be theoretically supported. So if you say, bueno, I'm going to, I don't know, use this text and I'm going to answer these questions. Okay, then my question to you would be, why? Why have you decided to use this text and why have you decided to use these questions? Are the questions meaningful? What do you expect from your students? What position are you, what's your stance as regards reading comprehension? If you give a text and you said, answer these questions. You give students a text and they said, okay, now read and answer these questions. My question will be, okay, what's your stance as regards reading comprehension? What's missing? Okay, remember, focus on meaning, right? Whatever we do, we focus on meaning. All our teaching sequences should focus on communication, on meaning. even if it is oral communication or written communication. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Anything else?
Yes, I have a doubt about the e-portfolio. For example, the part of the introduction, what makes a good teacher? Yes, we have like 4 activities, I think, and the last one is the task, the paragraphs. The first one says, take a sheet of paper or open a new document and jot ideas about what is a good teacher. Should we?
No, Elia. No,
Okay.
the idea is that, I mean, you go to the tasks, what you have to hand in, not every single point, right? The idea is what were you supposed to hand in at that time, the final task. So what I designed at that moment was the process. I was trying to guide you in the process of thinking and writing about what makes a good teacher. Okay, so the idea is that I said, okay, jot down some ideas, then get together and discuss, and then finally write your paragraph. So what you have to put in your portfolio is the paragraphs, or are the paragraphs or the paragraph. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Anything else?
Yes. Can I stay with you after this meeting ends?
Okay, I don't have much time now because I have another class.
It's just some minutes.
Okay, so let's do that. I need to talk with Dan and with Andres. Anybody else? Moni, Lara, Hernan,
No.
Juan, Noelia? Okay, so you leave the meeting, okay? And I'll see you the 7th, right? I guess. The link for our next Zoom meeting is there in our classroom. Okay? Be ready to hand in everything. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Andres.
Okay, here I'm going to say this in Spanish. Better. Es sobre prácticas, no sobre fundamentos. Yo también estoy haciendo prácticas ahora para seguir la materia. Pero siento que, si bien en teoría puedo entender y hacer todo, a la hora de hacer la TFC Sequences o todo lo que la Unit of Work, todo, es como que me falta mucho todavía.
Okay.
Mucho, o sea, entiendo la teoría, pero para aplicarlo me falta mucho. Y cada vez que te envío
Por ahí sería
algo.
buena idea dejar de grabar. Perdón.